Hello, Dr. Brent Hulsebus here, coming at you from the clinic, Hulsebus Rockford Chiropractic Clinic. And today's date, is we're currently recording, is the first Monday after Christmas, and it's the Monday before New Year's Eve. So this is the time of year we like to talk a lot about our New Year's goals. A lot of us set up health goals that we want to try to get done this year, and we're going to try to accomplish, and that's good stuff. But today, I want to talk to those people who maybe have struggled with this over the years or not in the best of health or don't do a lot of healthy, conscious things and want to start to the first step towards becoming a new person when it comes to health. Today's not really for that person who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, goes to the gym every week. This is not for the person who eats a solid diet, who meal preps and stuff like that. Today is for the beginner. So if you are the person who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you meal prep, you have everything set out for the week, you know all your supplements, you know what you're going to do every day. Come back next week. I'm going to make a video for you next week. This week, we want to talk about those who have not had good success at making their goals, about setting up realistic ideas, and maybe what the first steps are to becoming that person next year. Understand? So what's some realistic health goals? I know all of us have the idea that we're going to wake up January 1st. We're going to have an entirely new diet. We're going to go to the gym every day for 2 to 3 hours, and we're going to meditate. We're going to do all this stuff. And then after a couple of weeks, we're not doing any of it. So what are some realistic things we can set up? Well, I want to talk to you about a couple realistic, easy goals that we can create to start our journey with, right? What's our first journey? So the first thing I tell everyone to do, if you want to start becoming a healthier version of yourself, a better version of you next year, the number one thing to do is to get up every day and find a time in your day to go for a 30-minute walk. Just walk for 30 minutes. Now, this is not like me, like I go room to room, seeing patient to patient on my feet all day. That is not going for a 30-minute walk. So if you tell me, well, I'm on my feet all day, walking around, doing this and that, not the same thing. We want you to go for a solid 30-minute walk of a constant pace. You can go a little faster, a little slower, but 30 minutes of just going for a walk nonstop. Now, you might have to stop at a red light. I get that. Or across the street. But we want to go for a 30-minute walk. So I always tell people, leave your house, walk 15 minutes, turn around and come back. When you go for a 30-minute walk, there's so many benefits. But as a chiropractor, let's start first with the spinal benefits. Your disc and your joints of your spine do not have a direct blood supply. So when we walk, the muscles around them squeeze, they contract, and they push nutrients into the joint spaces. They also pull toxins out. So when you go for that walk, when you go for that moving around, you're flushing out your joints. You're giving your disc the nutrients they need to heal, grow, and not become arthritic. And there's no other way to do it other than going for a walk. So go out for a walk every day. Now, I would prefer you go outside and go for a walk. That's the best. That's the best of the best. Like going outside, especially in nature, going for a 30-minute walk. But just leaving your house or maybe at work, you can go for a 30-minute walk at lunch outside. That's fantastic. Although I was up here, we live in Northern Illinois, and we haven't had any snow yet. Knock on wood, we haven't had any snow yet. And you can still walk outside, but we have some pretty horrible weather days this time of year. So maybe going even down the street for me is a big Menards. Going to Menards and doing a couple of laps there for 30 minutes. Or going to the mall. We have a mall across the street, lots of mall walkers. Go over there for 30 minutes a day. But maybe you're going to tell me, hey, Dr. Hulsebus, I don't want to go to those places. There's people there with COVID and they're not wearing masks and I don't feel safe. And hey, okay, so don't go there. But find somewhere like that to go for a walk. Some of our local high schools will let you in to go for a walk. So they're indoor tracks. So you call around, find places. The one place you can go to is a treadmill. I'm not a huge treadmill guy because the treadmills are kind of tough on your knees and they control the pace and you don't. But I like the treadmill more than I like the couch. So if you're going to go do that, do that. Maybe you tell me, hey, Dr. Hulsebus, when I go for a 30-minute walk, my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my lower back hurts. Is there another choice? Absolutely, there's another choice. You can get a recumbent bicycle, stationary recumbent bicycle. What's a recumbent bicycle? The bicycle is the one where you sit in a chair and your feet are out in front of you and you pedal with your legs in front of you. I don't need you to get a sweat. I just need you to go for 30 minutes because this kind of mimics a lot of the same actions of walking. So that's a great place to start too. So our first realistic goal for a healthcare change for 2022 would be a 30-minute walk or a 30-minute pedal, the best you can. When you do the pedaling, if you do it at home, if you do a treadmill at home, Put the TV right in front of you when you walk, because a lot of times people come in and they tell me, hey, I got one of those elliptical gliders. I'm doing that every day, and now my lower back hurts. And I find out their TV's over in the corner, so they're going like this every day, wondering why they hurt. So it sounds silly, but it happens enough. I'm going to bring it up. All right. So let's talk about another Let's talk about another goal to get healthy besides just going for that 30 minutes every day. What about some making sure every meal has a raw produce? Making sure that you have some raw fruits and, more importantly, raw vegetables every meal. Making sure every meal has a real vegetable, not a grain. So potatoes and corns and all those starches and stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that like green. Like having a salad at every meal. Go ahead and have whatever you're going to have for your meal. Have your lasagna of all the cheese and marinara and all that stuff on there, but have a salad first. So figure out a way to incorporate raw vegetables into every meal. It could be as simple as just buying one of those pre-made salad bags and just grabbing a little bit of that, putting on a plate every day, put some good dressing on there. If you don't know what a good dressing is, my rule of thumb is if you can't see through it, it's probably not good for you. So, look at some light ones, some easy ones. I'm not a big low-fat guy. Low-fat's got other stuff in there that's not good for you. So I'm not about getting low-fat dressings. I'm about getting quality stuff. Like I do a lot of oil and vinegar. That's one of my favorites. So that's a real healthy one there. Avocado oil is really good too for a good healthy fat. So have that salad, have some raw vegetables. What about breakfast? Well, breakfast, you can have a little fruit. The best fruit to have is whatever berries are in season. So like right now, pomegranate seeds might be a good one. They're in season. But we also just want to have some vegetables. So if you're somebody that gets up every morning and maybe scramble some eggs, throw a little spinach in there. Have that for your vegetable. But add a vegetable to every meal you can. And if the breakfast means fruit, then add a little raw fruit to your breakfast. Let's just add that. I'm not taking away. We're not taking away anything here. We're just adding. So let's start with adding, not taking away. So have whatever you're going to have for dinner. If you can have fried chicken for dinner with mashed potatoes and extra thick gravy, go ahead and do it. But have some carrots first. All right, have some cucumbers. Have some vegetables first. So that's our second goal. First goal: 30 minutes of exercise every day. Going for a walk, pedaling a stationary bike. Again, you don't have to get a sweat. Just same pace as you would walking. Next is add that raw produce. Get some produce going every meal. Raw is better. If you want to steam it, you can steam it, but raw is better. Have more salads. Next thing, let's add some supplements. Okay, let's take some fish oil and a good daily vitamin every day, and vitamin D3. Those are my big three. Those are the three things I take every day: fish oil, vitamin D3, and a good daily vitamin. Now, I don't do vitamin D3 in the summer. If I'm outside all day, I don't bother. The rule of thumb is you're supposed to spend the equivalent of 30 minutes a day outside in your swimsuit. So if I'm up off of my dad's place, if I'm up outside with the kids going for hikes and stuff like that, we don't do the vitamin D3. We're getting plenty the natural way. But this time of year, I'm in the clinic all day. I'm not outside walking. I'm not outside in the sun all day. I do my 30-minute walk. I do those things. But I still I don't have 30 minutes of walking in December in Northern Illinois. I got coats on. I got everything else going on. I'm not showing enough skin, and I get vitamin D3, so I'm supplementing. That's what I'm trying to say. So do those supplements. Get a good quality fish oil. Make sure the EPA is double the DHA for adults and flip-flopping for kids. EPA, DHA. I always remember E for established nervous systems, D for developing nervous systems. Who needs what? Vitamin D3, we're doing 2,000 units a day. Make sure it's in a healthy fat. If it's a white pill that is not good vitamin D3, that is garbage. You don't want to take that. It has to be with a healthy fat. So take a look at that. And then your good daily vitamin. I like the whole natural vitamins made from organic real foods with no copper. That's my choice. If you don't know where to get those, here in our community, we have local health food store called Choices, and wherever your community is, wherever you're listening to this, I'm sure you have the equivalent thing. Also, if you're here in our community, we have those few supplements available on our website. Again, I only have on my website what's available, what I actually take. I'm not a supplement store. I just simply provide you with what I take. For us, we have a vitamin D3 dropper that the kids use because the kids don't want to take the fish oil. They don't want to do the vitamin D3. So it's a little eye dropper. We just put a couple of drops on their tongue. They get their vitamin D3 and their fish oil for the day. It's pretty easy. So it's not that hard. It's almost as hard as you make it. So There we go. There are some realistic healthcare choices that you can make. Some new realistic goals for 2022 for the person who doesn't go to the gym 5 hours a day, for the person who doesn't do those things. And we just want to get the ball on. Just want to make those first steps. So again, to recap, 30 minutes of walking, fantastic, especially outside. Vitamin D, you're going to do some vegetables now. You're going to do some salads every meal. I'm not taking away your meals. Eat what you want to eat. These are easy steps to start. Yes, we probably shouldn't be having a lot of fried chicken, but to start off with, we just want to add vegetables, more vegetables to every meal. Breakfast, if you don't want to do vegetables for your breakfast, you can always do some fruits, berries and seasons preferred. And lastly, let's take up some new supplements. Let's start adding some fish oil, vitamin D3, and some good daily vitamin, especially with all this crazy stuff going around right now. These are all great ideas. If you're the person who does more aggressive, you're the person that sets bigger goals for yourself, and you're already doing these things I'm talking about, come back next week. Next week, we're going to do another talk all about for the more advanced people. So not maybe no more advanced people. That's the wrong phrase. For the people who are already there, for the people who have already started this, and how to elevate your game, talk about things, those nagging pains that don't go away. If you have any questions about this stuff, always check with your chiropractor first. Make sure that stuff's okay for you. If you don't know about the supplements are right for you or the vitamins are good for you, check with your chiropractor. They'll go over it with you. They'll review it with you. And also, if you're concerned about the walking and the different things, maybe you can't do the walking, maybe you can't do the bicycling, you want to do something else, your chiropractor can come up with ideas for you. So always check with your chiropractor before you start these activities. Other than that, I hope everyone had a festive Christmas, New Year's, or been preparing for New Year's and all the other holidays out there. I'm not going to name them all. You know what they are. Not excluding anybody. 2021, can't exclude anybody. So happy holidays, everybody. I hope everyone's ready for a brand new year, a new self, a new you, new health goals, new exciting things. Come back here every week. We do ask the chiropractor questions. And if you have a question that you'd like to see us answer, leave us a comment below, send a direct message, or always find us on our website. It's rockforddc.com. Those of you watching, you can see it. Those of you listening, you can't. So it's rockforddc. Rock like the word rock, Ford like the car, Rockford, DC, Doctor of Chiropractic, .com, rockforddc.com. Other than that, if you have any other problems or challenges for your new year coming up, come find your chiropractor. We'll help you through it. If you have a question for me that you'd like me to answer on this podcast, this episode, this webinar, whatever you want to call it, leave it below. We'll get back to you. Other than that, make it a great, great day, and we'll talk to everybody real soon.